Well, let's go to CommSec now. Switch it over to Tom Piotrowski for a look at the markets. We've got this Santa rally that's taking place at the moment. Tom, does this continue today?
Pete, yes, it appears as though it will. The futures are just flat at the moment, but just literally in the last 10 minutes, we've seen the markets turn around. They were cobbling together some workmanlike improvements. They started off at a deficit. They were posting some modest gains, but they've seemed to have fallen into a hole. So it's a question of whether or not that rights itself in the next hour and a bit. So having been up by around 0.2%, the Dow is down 0.2 now. The S&P 500 down a similar amount, and the Nasdaq down by around 0.3%. That index was doing best before, up by almost 0.5%. The markets did start out in a hole and managed to pull themselves out of it. So the point to make, Pete, is that it's pretty thin trading from here on in to the Christmas break. On Friday, you would expect rather thin trade to be the norm. And this is interesting given the fact that brings with it the most important piece of data of the week, the inflation measure that the US Central Bank looks at most carefully. So that's an interesting outcome in itself, and we'll be watching carefully. But before that, we were seeing bellwethers hit record highs like General Electric and Caterpillar, although the blemish on the session has been FedEx, the parcel deliverer, has seen its shares fall by 11% on a disappointing earnings number. So worth pointing out, Pete, that interest rates continue to drive lower. We had a better than expected outcome in the UK in relation to their CPI figures overnight, and that was pivotal in seeing rates fall and the FTSE finish up by about 1%. So it's a bit of a patchy picture as we start this session today locally.
Yeah, sounds like it. Are you done your Christmas shopping yet, Tom?
I've done all my Christmas shopping. It's complete. I don't need to do any retailing from here on in.
That's really good. Really good. It was absolutely bedlam yesterday at Westfield, I have to say. But that's good for the shoppers and the businesses, I should say. And are you going to take some time off this Christmas, or I know you never sleep. Are you just going to work through?
Pete, we'll be parting ways for several weeks, which will be terribly sad for myself. But I'll try and find something else to occupy my days with.
Yeah,
but
you might be able to send me a
until
text.
we talk again.
One of those humorous text messages that you send me from time to time. When are you off? From tomorrow?
Friday will be our last day of broadcasting until the 9th of Jan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we can have one more last hurrah before the end of the year, Tom, tomorrow.
Let's do that.
Okay. Look forward to that. There's Tom Piotrowski there. He's actually taken some time off. Don't believe it. Works so hard, he does.